When I made this beautiful movie called Timeshare, very cute family comedy that I co-produced with Fox and Konstantin, starring Nastassja Kinski and Timothy Dalton, I always wanted to do a remake of it because I really liked the script. It was written by Eric Tuchman, who, as you guys know, is an amazing, amazing writer, known mostly recently for The Handmaid's Tale, the Hulu series that he created and wrote and produced. And so in this case, here for our course, I'm just going to do the remake. So let's do it. So I'm assuming that we're doing the remake. We're going to cast Ryan Reynolds and the newcomer Kelly Berglund. We're going to make Eric Tuchman, the writer, a director, and he's of course very excited about that. So we are now not shooting this in Malibu, which I did. We are shooting this movie in Puerto Rico. So let's look at our assumptions for the remake Timeshare. We're going to do the budget at 12.5 million. It is comprised of the above the line portion of 5,625,000 and the below the line portion including post and other cost of 5,875,000. The international sales for this film are actually estimated to be 85% of the budget at the take level. Pre-sales are going to be 30% of the budget, and the down payment that we are collecting will only be 15% of the pre-sale contracts, not 20 as we normally do. The senior loan will discount the pre-sale agreements to 80% of the agreed license fees, and they will give us a gap of 20% of the budget. Both of those loan sections will be subject to a 12% blended interest rate, and then the loan is going to cost us a $50,000 loan fee, all of which is charged up front. We're going to shoot the movie in Puerto Rico, which offers 20% on the above the line and 40% on the below the line in incentives for these eligible costs. And the lender will charge us 15% as a fee up front. We will secure 5% of the budget in branding, and the ad agency will deduct 15% of that up front. We will sell our music publishing rights to Cutting Edge for $100,000, and the equity investor, after we put all these finance elements together, is going to give us the balance. Now, when we look at the waterfall and revenue items, we are actually doing this film as a rent-a-studio deal model with A24. They will manage the release campaign for us, and they will charge us a 25% distribution fee, which is charged on the producer share of the box office. And our exhibitor, AMC, will release the film and will charge 35% on the box office as a fee, leaving us with 65% of the box office as the producer share. The P&A that we're getting is $1 million. And that will also be repaid from the producer share together with a 20% premium on the investment. The box office sales will actually be $5 million. So that's what we are generating in ticket sales at the box office. And then we're going to have a second US release window with Netflix. And they will pay us 15% of the budget to stream the movie after the theatrical release was done. The collection agent will charge 1% of everything that is in the collection account. We will be paying the senior loan outside of the collection account, so this will not be part of the collection account because the senior lender requires to be repaid directly from distributor revenues, not through the collection account. The sales agent charges us 15% of the international sales, and we offer our talent a profit share of 20% of the net revenues, and the equity gets the profit share as contractually agreed in connection with the investment that they gave us. The question now is, what is the total payment to the equity investor on this film, and what is the producer's profit share? So first step, as always, is the valuation. We have the budget. We said above the line 5,625,000, below the line 6,875,000. So altogether it is 12,500,000, and we're estimating to get 10,625,000 out of the international sales. We have not put anything for the US estimate because we're doing a rent-a-studio deal and we don't know how much box office we will be generating. So let's take a look at our senior loan. We have pre-sales of 30% of our budget, which is 12,500,000. That would come to 3,750,000. The down payments made by the distributors on these contracts is 15%. That is 562,500. So the distributors will pay us another 3,187,500 as a balance due when we deliver the film to them. The bank loan. The pre-sales loan will be discounted to 80% of the contractual value. So the entire pre-sales come to 3,750,000. If we look at all the contracts combined, the bank will give us 80% of that, which is $3 million. The down payment will then be deducted, and we will then receive the pre-sale net loan. After that, we're going to go to GAAP, where the GAAP lender, in this case the senior lender, will give us 20% of the budget, that is $2.5 million. We will be charged a 15% interest rate and a 50% loan fee, all of which is deducted up front.
Let's take a look at our equity investment and how we establish it. We have our incentive loan of 20% of the above the line and 40% of the below the line, giving us 3,875,000. And if we reduce our, if we deduct our lender fee, we end up with 3,293,750 from the incentive. Brand integration, after we deduct agency fee, leaves us with 531,250, and music publishing is 100. So altogether, we have raised 8,782,500, leaving us with a need for equity of 3,717,500 in order to reach our budget of 12,500,000.
So now we made the movie and it's time to collect revenues. And as mentioned, we are doing this movie as a theatrical release under the rent-to-studio model, and we're working with A24. So they are able to do a deal with AMC Theaters. The box office that we will be generating is $5 million, and AMC Theaters is charging 35% of that as their exhibitor share, which is $1,750,000, which leaves us with $3,250,000 as a balance for the producer share. Then A24 is charging us 25% of that. 25% of 3,250,000 is 812,500. Our P&A investor is now being paid from that. That is $1 million. On that $1 million investment for print and advertising, the P&A investor charges us a 20% premium. That is $200,000. So altogether, our distribution revenues so far from box office leave us with 1,237,500. In the second window, we're actually selling a streaming license to Netflix, and they're paying us 15% of the budget, which is 1,875,000 for this movie to release it on Netflix after the theatrical window has concluded. Altogether from the US, we will therefore be receiving 3,112,500. The international distribution revenues, as you recall, were 85% of the budget, and that is 10,625,000. The down payment that we are deducting of 562,500 will leave us with 10,062,500 from the international territories. So altogether, if we are adding the international distribution revenues to the US distribution revenues, we get 13,175,000 in revenues.
In the waterfall, we are taking our revenues of 13,175,000 and we're deducting all the things we need to deduct. We are taking the senior loan first. So here we are deducting 4,937,500 first, giving us a balance in the collection account of 8,237,500. So here we have the collection agent then charging on that 1%, 82,375. We have our distribution fee due to our sales agent of 15%. We pay our equity back and we pay the premium. Altogether, we are generating expenses of 6,137,125, which in this case leaves us with a net revenue of 2,100,375. If we look at our ROI, we take the revenues that we have, 2,135,000, sorry. We're paying our equity and we're paying our talent all together, 732,400 and some change. So we are left with 1,367,974. Now, if we're looking at the investment we received from our equity investor, and we're taking all the money that he has gotten, which would be the profit of 312,325.76, as well as the premium of 743,500, and totaling that, he would make 1,055,825. And in connection to the investment, this would come to an ROI of 28%.
If you have any questions about this case study, please feel free to reach out to me via the Canvas inbox.